This is a crackling good story. This is a real story. This is the story of the people who put together a billion-dollar company. And it went from zero in sales to $1 billion in sales in 7 years. This is the story of Novell. Novell and the people that made it. Now, Novell is a high technology company. It's still around today, and it's still a $1 billion company today. And what made Novell, what put it on the map, was local area networks. Local area networks are the software and hardware that tie together personal computers. And before Novell, there weren't any local area networks. This story takes place in the 1980 to 1990 timeframe. And at that time, there were personal computers, but they were just beginning too. For instance, the Apple II was first sold in 1977, and this story starts in 1980. And so what we're talking about here is the high technology frontier. And this is something of a before and after story. The first Novell started in 1980, and this was started by two men who were longtime computer industry experts. They'd been in the industry a while, they knew a lot of people, they had been very successful, and they got financing from a company that was also very successful. It was called Safeguard Scientific. And in spite of the experience, in spite of the professional competence of all these people involved, this company grew through 1981, grew through 1982, and was not successful. They were trying to sell terminals, printers, and computers, and there was too much competition. The company almost disappeared, almost went away completely. And it was the tale of a struggle. The struggle was to find a product that was going to sell, something that people wanted to buy. And they tried, and they came up with some promising things, but none of them came through. But as they were going through this tailspin here, this crash landing, a man came in from the outside, a man named Ray Norda, and he said, this one product that you are working on, the local area network, that has promise. Ray Norda was also a very experienced man in the computer industry, and he said, that has promise, I'm going to invest. Now, by the time he got interested in Novell, it was down to 15 people. And with the help of those 15 people, Ray Norda turned the company around, said, your local area network product, that's a good product, that's got promise. And boy, did it have promise. By 1989, the company was almost $1 billion in sales. It was very profitable. It had made 12 millionaires. And that's the second half of this story, how this company succeeded, and succeeded in a big way. And it's the story of the challenge of how do you bring this product to market? How do you convince people that this is an interesting product? And once you've done that, how do you deal with the growth? 15 people to over 1,000 people. Wow, that's pretty different. So this is a story of both a struggle and not winning it, and then taking the good ideas, the gems out of that, and making it a superstar. And then there's a final stage to it. Novell grew to $1 billion in sales, and then stayed there. It stayed there for almost 10 years. It's still there. What changed? The change was, it changed from a visionary company, a company that said, we've got a hot idea, we've got to tell the world about this hot idea, and that's our job, to a company that said, we've made it. We're here. What we have to do now is continue to satisfy our customers with pretty much the same product. We're going to make it a little better, but we're not going to shake the world with it anymore. The company became what I call a Statue of Liberty company. It was big. It was famous. It set standards. But it didn't change much. It didn't change much. So it changed from a visionary company into a Statue of Liberty company. Now, why do I know about this? I know about this because I was part of the company. I was number 20 on board when they started the first company. When it went up, when it went down, when they got down to 20 people, they said, sorry, Roger, we don't need you anymore. I said, well, if you don't need me, I don't need you. And I thought it was finished as a company. I thought it was finished. I went to work for another company, and 2 years later, they had turned Novell around, and I rejoined Novell, and I was with them until 1989 when they changed from the visionary company into the Statue of Liberty company. So I was there. And what you have here is an in the cubicle report of what was happening. And once again, this is a good story. This was red-blooded American heroes conquering the high technology frontier. And yeah, it's a good story. So have fun with it. Have fun with it. You can get this from Author House, that's the publisher. You can get it from Amazon or Barnes & Noble. You can order it from booksellers pretty much anywhere. So if you want a story that is about business and it's telling the story of the challenge of a business, you'll have fun with this.